That's a tea, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I've already had a couple of coffees, but...
Couple of coffees. It's only 11 o'clock. Yeah, it's only 11 o'clock, mate. Settle down.
Well, let's just start the show with all start the show with all this then.
I've actually had 3 coffees, but I had half of one.
I don't know. I actually forgot to have a coffee, and I was feeling sluggish. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't had a coffee. That's why.
You know what?
So I just have one now.
My pet hates is when people say, "Well, how many coffees is that?" It's like, what's it matter to you?
It's dangerous for your heart, isn't it?
Well, look, if we were going on things that we do to ourselves that are dangerous, the number of coffees I drink, like, oh, that's bad for you. It's probably not making the list. It's not on the radar of area.
It's like when someone says sugar. Mate, you shouldn't put that poison in your body.
yeah.
Trust me, sugar's not the worry.
Yeah, when I go and get my checkup from the doc, he's not going, taking my gyms. You're almost perfect, but just trim down on the coffees.
Like the healthy beers, then that stuff, isn't it? It's like the pure blondes and the better
We're talking
beer.
like we're on air at the moment.
Well, yeah, we are. We started. We're on. Yeah, we're not doing the hello and welcome. We're just
I'm sick of your hello and welcome as well. It's the same every time.
Tony sent me that promotional video that we've got, and it's bad to watch. It's a tough watch for me to look at myself going, is that me? Is that what our listeners have to deal with every time they tune in?
Yeah.
Like if I was a fan of the show, which I'm not, I don't like my show.
Okay, yeah.
I can't watch my own.
No, you can't be a fan of
Mrs.
your
always
own.
tries to listen to them in the car. I'm like, mate, I fucking don't want to hear the sound of my voice.
I get listening back, but you're still a fan of it. Like you're wearing the shirt there.
I consider myself more than a fan, Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think fans are as important as you. The fans are the heartbeat of the show.
I know, but I don't know what I am, but I'm not
Contributor.
a contributor. But yeah, if I was a fan, I would not want to hear that intro ever again. So I'm going to
hello and welcome to the show.
I'm trying my best to work around it. But
hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Bar Round.
That's
We're joined here by
the
cheese and a special guest, Charlie.
That's just you. Hey, over to you, cheese, mate. You want to?
Cheese, how's the rehab going, mate?
All right, I'll just sit back. Charlie, it's great to have you back.
Good to be back, mate.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Been on holidays for a few weeks. Good to have a break
nice.
after the off season. Yeah,
It'd be nice to just be able to go away.
What are you doing next week?
Going away.
Exactly, mate.
Actually, I did go. I technically went away this weekend.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Went to that retreat with Ryan Girdler. Actually, it was funny. It was there.
A 1 day retreat. That's not a retreat.
It's not a retreat. No,
it's more of a just a.
It was a day.
Yeah.
A day trip. There's actually
it's a conference.
A guy who was there. Like we were all explaining why we're there, and he goes, "Oh, it's actually funny. I was listening to Jam and Cheese, heard that I was going, paused it, looked it up, and he came.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shows the power of the bar round.
Power of the bar round. Yeah.
How was it though? Because I love Girds. Me and Girds, we've known each other for years and years and years. And
you're not that old.
Yeah, we go way back. Hang on a minute. I'm 29.
Well, I've known him since I was about 23 years old.
Yeah.
So way back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've loved.
Practically grew up together.
Practically grew up together. He practically raised me.
Yeah.
Practically raised me. My mentor.
The way you said it was like he cut the umbilical cord.
But I love what he's doing with all the wellness stuff, and he's a great fella. It's like, and it's cool to see him be able to turn like a proper passion of his into like a business as well.
I love listening to him. He's a very straight shooter.
He's got a bit of fun. He's got some comedic value as well. Like he can take the piss during a call, which is quite the thing to be able to do. But this specifically this day, it was a men's retreat with a whole heap of sort of wellness style activities, but it started with this breath work. Now, I've heard that breath work can take you places, and I've done breath work before, but this particular breath work was different because they did speak at the start about how we've become a world of mouth breathers, right? And how bad that is, and you've got to get practice in breathing through your nose, and there's all sorts of different exercises that you can do. Helps focus, helps clarity, bring it into your daily routine. But this particular exercise that we did, it was mouth breathing, right? And it was like moving the air around, like for into the belly, into like 80% into the belly, 20% into your chest. We're all laid down, and mate, I went somewhere that I've never been before, and I was like, whoa, where am I? Like this, and I'm just breathing, and then you lose a bit, and then you go back, you do it, and then you'd be like, whoa, and mate, it felt like 5 minutes, and then we got back and it was like, you guys were going there for like an hour and a half, and I was like, what?
Was it like, were you just laying down and just like pretty much hyperventilating?
I wouldn't classify it as hyper.
But like,
no, it was different to that. So,
mate, we did that in Queenstown for like 45 minutes non-stop, and fuck, like other blokes are like crying after it. Like, they'd like go to like a real fragile state, and then you'd start talking to each other about it while you're vulnerable.
Yeah, we did that. We had the conversation after, but during it, I just felt like I was like on this cloud, just floating away. It is how I imagine psychedelic drugs to be like. It really is. It's like it takes you such a trip, and then like coming back, I was like, whoa, like. Girds and the shaman who was there, like, was sort of, and I was like, no, don't end. Like, I could.
You could feel yourself about to break through almost.
Well, no, I just didn't want to leave this place. I was so happy where I was, and they're like, I couldn't do, like, we're going to do this. And I'm like, no, shh, I'm staying. I'm staying here, boys.
It sort of makes you feel like you're levitating.
Yeah,
I feel a bit.
Yeah,
like when you're laying on the ground, you're breathing, and then you can't really feel the ground anymore. You start to like, it's actually a real trip out. We do a bit of breath work at Roosters, like before some sessions or during preseason, and mate, it just try to bring your attention back to like just your own thoughts.
Yeah, there's so many values of all the breath work stuff, but some of it is around recovery, some of it is around performance. But Girds was telling me that basically this style of breathing that we were doing, it affects, I think, maybe the pH levels or the oxygen to carbon dioxide ratios in your body, but the specific
type of
style of it. And when you're sort of being guided and there's music going on, we were by this fire, it was like, wow. So he does some more extreme versions of this over like the course of 3 days, which I'm thinking I'm going to sign up. There was more to it than the breath work. There was a lot of personal self-discovery there. It was really cool. I'm so happy I went.
The Instagram page is called Reconnected Men as well.
Yeah.
If you want to check it out yourself and get involved.
I couldn't recommend it any higher. Like, and I look, I paid to go, didn't get but I speak the good word of this experience. I think there's a lot of men out there that are probably struggling with a bit of identity, bit of meaning, purpose, all that sort of jazz, and this or maybe just stuck in some routines that, they probably want to skip out of. And yeah, for me, it was absolutely sensational. But how about you, Cheese? What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot, to be honest. Got a new cat or new kitten.
Okay, so you got a kitten.
I got a kitten, yeah. So
a potential cat.
It's going to be a cat, yes. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah. It's a male, but
unless something happens.
Well, yeah, we're a gender neutral household, so
no, I'm talking about
whatever it wants to be. I guess.
No, I'm talking about maybe the kitten goes for a walk. Doesn't look.
Don't you dare!
Yeah, don't say that.
Don't you dare! I'm fucking in love with this thing.
It's a very cute cat as well.
Let's not presume. Tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Yesterday I woke up and I spent every single hour of the day with this thing. I fucking forgot it was the Melbourne Cup. That's how much I love it. I'd missed the Melbourne Cup, everything. I sat around with this toy and played with this thing for honestly 6 hours straight, and I love this little thing. But the hard thing is it does not get along with my other cat.
Yeah.
Not at all. The other cat comes over and it's just, my other cat thinks it's a snake for some reason and just starts hissing at it.
So you have to separate them then?
No, I just let it be.
Yeah.
I let them, like, they get close and she just says, my other cat's a pussy, basically.
Right.
It's a very pampered little thing.
Are all cats pussies?
Do you know what, lads? I was just thinking, do you realise how hard it is not to make reference to the joke that Cheese spent all day yesterday?
Stroking his pussy.
Hey,
Playing with my pussy.
like, I didn't say it.
Unfortunately, though, my missus got the honours of naming it, and she named it Crumpet Marmalade.
Crumpet marmalade. After what?
She originally named it Marmalade because it's orange, so there's like apricot marmalade.
No, it's not orange. It's ginger.
Yeah, but like your beard.
It's not orange. It's ginger.
Okay.
You can't just call people with red hair orange.
Well, you don't call an orange ginger. You call it an orange. Gingers are more brown.
Yeah.
Anyways, so she
yeah.
called it marmalade, and then later in the day she thought, fuck, I like crumpet. I'm going to call it crumpet marmalade.
But cats can't, or kittens can't respond to you, can they? They don't
Yeah, you
respond.
do. I say, crummy, 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 crummy.
But they don't come. They don't.
Yeah,
they're probably
at the moment it does.
It's just a noise.
Yeah, any noise.
any noise. It's, names for pets are almost irrelevant.
Yeah, well, anyways, that was me. I missed the Melbourne Cup because I was too infatuated by this little pussy.
It was a good day to miss the Melbourne Cup though, because Knight's Choice won, which is like 101 to 1. So,
That's a good day, isn't it?
No, well, maybe good for. I mean, Ladbrokes had one person who put $100 on the first four and won $3.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
What to just
Just pick the first four. They boxed the first four, and the Ladbrokes shared
like
the
a
slip.
same race multi.
Same rate. No, kind of like a same race.
Yeah,
Multi,
yeah.
just the first four.
Yeah.
Box first four.
in order or in any
Yeah, well,
order?
so box means you can get all the different combinations of it.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And they put $100 in it and won 3.4 million. I lost so much money
I wonder
yesterday.
what they did
gambling.
yesterday. That person.
What would they have done? I don't know.
Did Ladbrokes pay them?
Ladbrokes paid it out straight away.
Straight away.
Yeah. And they shared the
that.
slip
It's
on
a
their
Fast
socials.
withdrawal too, Ladbrokes.
Great.
It's like an hour, like max.
Mate, imagine that. You
Imagine
just sat
three.
there watching that race.
AJ Brimson tipped the winner
I
as
was
well.
going to say, yeah.
What happened there?
He well, I don't know what's happening. The NRL's
Put a
looking into
screenshot.
it.
Mate, as if you don't just edit that photograph.
I know, you've
like,
also-
you don't even need to do the stupid, the worst job in the world of scribbling over the bet below.
I know.
Is
It does. Was it a screenshot of his phone?
Screenshot of the bet of the when he put $100 on Knight's Choice,
but
and it said,
did he really do the bet?
well, he's now saying that it was his mum's account. Because there was a couple little NRL, like there was a couple rugby league bets it looked like below that had been scribbled out,
you know what?
which were probably on the internationals, but they might not have been his. It might have been his mum's. Like
It doesn't
we
matter
don't know.
according to the rules of the game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're on internationals. You're not allowed to bet on any form of rugby league.
Yeah, I
even
get
like
that.
Super
That's
League,
fair enough, I think, as well. I think that's fair enough.
Anyway, it's not worth debating about. But I don't know if your parents are allowed to either.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, like, to the rules are you're not actually like the next of kin.
Yeah.
Might not be allowed to do it because you otherwise you could just get your partner.
yeah,
or
and I think they're a bit. I think you're right, but I think they're a bit more lenient on it. Like, if your parents are doing $5 fucking same game multi,
Yeah.
But if they're doing like $1,000,
Like, you just go try.
well, that's it. It's the old, like, someone plays their milestone game and all the family back it.
Yeah.
All the family back that person,
first try
like
scorer.
first try scorer, last try, anytime, whatever, and they clean up. But it's like, I think I think technically you're not supposed to do
Yeah.
that, or you're not allowed to
Well,
do that.
you're not allowed-
supposed to. I mean, more. You're not allowed to
You
do
know,
that.
in AFL media and cricket media, you're not allowed to bet. Like, so I'm working on the cricket over summer, and I can't bet on the cricket over the summer.
Really?
Yeah, or for the Australian games. Yeah, but like
Because you're working in the media.
yeah, because
in production.
I know. That's how strict it is
In
in some other
production?
sports. I know. Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't understand. Like, well, how can trainers and like horse jockeys and that all bet on?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah. If you're the trainer,
Yeah.
So the trainer can,
yeah, but I guess the name of the game for that is
yeah.
gambling, and I don't know.
I think in US sports, are you allowed to gamble at all?
No, well,
If
Michael
you-
Porter Jr.'s brother bet on himself Like he was on like $5 million a year, US dollars, and he bet on himself and they tore up his contract and he's been banned for life.
Yeah,
And he
someone
wa-
else did that in the NFL recently, not
Yeah,
banned for
right.
life, but he recently gambled on himself.
Gambled on their own game.
Yeah, their own, because you got the props like over under points. I don't know what it would be in NFL, but
So like,
I can't remember who that was.
so Michael
like
Porter
sacks,
Jr.'s brother, yeah.
Sacks over under number of sacks,
Yeah.
over under number of tackles,
Yards.
yards.
So it was so bad in the Michael Porter Jr. It's his brother. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. But he bet on himself over under points, and he left the game in the first quarter with a calf injury.
Oh well, there
And
you
then
go.
like that's how he got found out, because he just feigned injury to make sure the bet got up, which is pretty bad.
Well,
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. He's been banned for life.
That's
So-
not go. Yeah, well, the life ban. It's a strong message, but I thought like in American sports you can't gamble full stop on anything. Like they don't let you to go. No, that
I don't
can't be
know.
right.
No,
That
it can't be right. No. We should probably talk some rugby league there, because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
let's get
we've
into
gone for
rugby
a
league.
while.
We have.
I think people just like the sound of our voices, though.
Yeah.
We've
Maybe
not actually
yours.
started the show yet.
No.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Pie Round Midweek Matters. Cheese, you've made a couple of headlines with recruit. Where have you been? No, you've not done anything bad. You're obviously now a free agent. A couple of the journos saying likely won't be at the Roosters. What?
Well, my manager told me, like, when do you want me to, like, talk to other clubs? And I just said, I'm not really in a rush at the moment, just because, like, I'm not, like, usually you sign a contract for security when it's early in case preseason you get injured or something happens like that. Usually that's the case. But with me, I feel like
You already are injured.
I'm already injured. I don't have a I don't have a risk of being re-injured. So I just told him to like just wait it out. Like don't talk to anyone yet. I want to go back to training and just worry about getting my knee right, and if anything comes along, but don't go out there and actively try shop.
Yeah. What about actually the Roosters?
I haven't spoken to them yet because Robbo's still away and stuff like that. So
Like,
when we get back to training, then we'll have the proper discussion.
the informal sort of
the discussion about what's happening moving forward.
Where are you at the moment in terms of obviously fully focused on recovery, but be rude not to
Well,
ask.
ideally, I'd want to stay at the Roosters because I don't want to go anywhere. My partner's well entrenched in the club now, and I just wouldn't really want to go anywhere else, and feel like there's 2 years there that have gone. I guess there's still a lot of I missed out on. I was injured last year, and then this year, I didn't get to finish the year out, even though we were going well. And ideally, I like to stay, but the game of rugby league, it doesn't always have the same opinions as yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't stay at the Roosters, do you want to stay in Sydney, or are you just open to see
Yeah,
whatever's
mate, I
out there?
kind of got to stay around the bye round.
Exactly
Well, I
right,
was
mate.
gonna say,
Exactly right. Yeah.
Well,
Or I'll have to go to Brisbane and start up a rival company and just fucking.
Well, we've got a
Take
studio in
this
Brisbane
down.
as well. We've got a studio in Brisbane.
you can go down the line from our business
Yeah,
studio.
yeah.
So that covers Brisbane, Dolphins, Gold Coast. Just off the market is
Yeah,
Townsville. They got
No painted nails on my podcast.
No Canberra. No, we can. That might be an issue. No New Zealand Warriors. The Knights. No, probably leave them out. So yeah, Sydney or any.
I don't
of those
mind
three.
Canberra.
Yeah, but how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to make a rival company.
Okay. If you're in Canberra, who's your co-host then in Canberra?
Johnny Bateman.
Is that the Tigers?
Wait, I'll fly him in. No,
Imagine if they did that. Bateman's just on a plane down to Canberra. Welcome to Barnard. Me and Cheese. What's been doing, Cheese?
You're naughty, such
Well, it's good to hear from the horse's mouth, as they say, Cheese, on what's doing the rounds. A couple of others. Benny Hunt still. Ben Hunt announced probably 7 days ago that he was going to be. We got that release. It was announced that release was going to happen for next season. He had to sign like a participation agreement because if he gets injured, he's technically without a club. So,
Yeah. So who would sign him? No one.
Well, Australia would be covering his insurance. I think he's in the night. It doesn't look like he'll play on the weekend in the Pacific Championships final. But say if he was and he got injured, it would be interesting to see sort of what the next few months look like.
Would they cover his full salary then, the insurance? Because, like, say he does his Achilles and he's out, or his ACL or something, he's out for the full season.
Yeah, if he does it at training. Like
Would he get, like, surely? Otherwise, if you're Ben Hunt, you're saying, I'm not playing. Like, maybe he's, like...
Yeah, I don't think he's thinking, fuck, if I play, I'm going to get a season-ending injury.
No.
Yeah.
No, but you've got to be worried. Like, that's
Achilles,
$780,000.
Yeah, if your Achilles like just pops at training on captain's run or whatever, like you got to prepare for the worst.
Yeah, and that would affect him getting a 2-3 year deal as well.
Absolutely.
You'd think for sure. Yeah.
It'd be interesting, but there's a lot of chatter, Cheese, because obviously May has been told he can move, which sort of people are connecting the dots, and incorrectly on social media, people saying that this is an off-field incident or whatever, but that we can draw a line through that. It is what it is. He's been told he can move on. They've got depth in that position. It's sort of, you don't need to be, a qualified inspector to put the pieces together and go, it looks the Roosters are trying to free up some space to make a move for Benny Hunt.
Yeah, obviously I'm not in the know at the moment, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it's not just Benny Hunt. I mean, there's a few players leaving the club that, we probably need to replace. And I don't really know who's on the market at the moment, but Benny Hunt would fill a gap, but it's for how long?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he wants to play 7. If he wants to play 9, then he can play. Like, I just don't think the club, I don't know if
it's a very short.
It's a very short-lived sort of.
Could he play 7? Walker play 6 when Sam comes back?
Nah,
you don't think Sam? Can play 6?
That'd be like saying can Cleary and Ben Hunt play on the same field? They're very dominant halves. Like Sammy Walker is a very vocal, dominant half. Calls a lot of the shots. Even when Cleary was there, like Sammy called a lot of the plays and everything that's come off him, and I think that's how Sammy would like it. Can it happen? Yeah, it can happen, but I just don't think it suits the style of Sam Walker.
Maybe Benny Hunt could play 6. I mean,
yeah,
like there's no reason why he can't.
With the May thing as well, I don't know if it would be about Ben Hunt as well. My understanding of it is the Roosters just don't feel that Terrell May is the kind of player culturally that they want in the club. That's my understanding of it. It's
hard to imagine because he's like... He's very good around the club. I mean, he's not like a big speaker.
Yep.
But like he doesn't do anything off field wrong, you know what I mean? He's
am I right saying he doesn't drink alcohol?
Doesn't drink. Yeah. Doesn't do he doesn't ever come out, doesn't do any of that stuff. And he's hilarious to have around the club, so I miss him a bit. But I think that's what happened. All the rumours that went around is so fucking wild.
Mate,
some of the rumours are upsetting like other players. That's why other players as well are trying to take legal action on.
Yeah, as they should. Like some of the stuff that I heard that it was about, it's like it's not. And it's all lies that just people make up. It's crazy.
Just on that though, with the allegedly not fitting into the club and the ethos or whatever it may be, like. The Roosters signed him 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah,
so
that's why I think there's a lot of like rumors and speculations going around because it's actually a really odd situation. Because it's just one of those ones like you just re-signed him. Why are we trying to shop him out again? But that's for the powers of the know to, I guess, understand. And anything I would say would be all speculation. So
he's a gun player. Whoever gets him is getting a gun player.
Him is going to be a very. I don't think the reported value that he's on is anywhere near correct.
Well, I was going to say that when they said like between 400 and 500, I was like,
why would they release him then? If that was true, they wouldn't release him.
He must be on way more than that.
They said 950 is like
over 2 years. Over 2 years.
Oh yeah, I reckon he's on about that
per year.
I thought he was on 950 Like a year?
No.
Well, that's what
I thought he'd be on sevens around that.
like
Yeah,
6 and
minimum.
7s,
Yeah.
I think he's on around 4 or 5.
Right. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a steal. Again,
Yeah, I know,
which
whoever-
means I don't understand
Would
why.
the dogs have a crack at him?
I think they'd be certainly
The
interested.
dogs and the bunnies, I reckon, should.
Well, the dogs made a play for him last time he was up, and I think he would certainly add to what they already have.
Because he's a
100%.
good ball player as well.
Yeah.
Suits their game style.
And I think they've made no secret of going after Leo Thompson, but with May, well, like I think you could envisage Leo Thompson and May in the same team. Like May, like I rate him really highly. I'd love him at the Dogs,
Yeah.
but again, like there's plenty of teams that need front rowers, would be desperate for front rowers, especially somebody that probably hasn't peaked just yet in terms of where you look at the.
Well, he's still young.
Exactly. This is my point.
yeah.
He's still. I think these next 3 seasons will likely be his most productive and his most devastating on the field. So I'd go for him 100%. He moves well. He's fit, which is what the dog system is all about. You got to be fit to play it, and he ticks that box.
The Leo Thompson one's interesting though, because Tyrone Thompson, his twin brother's now signed with the Knights.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a sign that I reckon I'd have my money on the Knights keeping Leo
Yeah,
Thompson
me
now.
too.
Yeah.
Well played, Knights.
Yeah, that's a good move. It's a
Well
good move.
played.
Imagine that. His twin brother signs it, and he
See you later, mate.
Montreal screw
Identical
jobs him
twin
just
brother
like-
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually hate me twin brother. Not going anywhere near him. But he looks like a big bloody unit too. They look exactly the same,
Yeah,
mate. Are they twins?
Identical twins, yeah.
Sort of our
No, I
identical
mean, are they
twin,
identical
They
twins?
are identical twins, yeah, yeah.
Because they look exactly the
Yeah.
same.
That
was done by me.
If Thompson stays, then May, you could argue May becomes the most sought after front rower, best available.
Well, you can get him now as well.
Yeah, exactly. You get him
now.
Yeah, you get him now. You get him for preseason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Dogs, Tigers, Dragons. There's
I don't know what Manly's cap's like, but Manly could do with a player like him as well.
See, I reckon they were right in the front row, Manly.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Paseka.
Yeah. Paseka, Jake, Brown.
Yeah.
Lodges in there, eh?
Brown's aging. Do you reckon Brown's got another big year in him?
who else have
They
they
got
got?
Josh
Sipley.
Alloy, Sipley.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of middle of the road front rows. I reckon a player like Terrell May would make a big impact
of course.
there.
May'd make an impact at most clubs, but it's
true.
finding the balance. Who's in desperate need
Who
for
have the
front
bunnies
row.
got?
Well, middles, they got
Totola,
Totola, Arrow, Murray, who's out injured.
Kepi.
But I think they're full on cap.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. White and
Full.
Mitchell,
Cody.
Walker.
Geez, they need White to have a big year, South.
Yeah.
Like they got a lot of money in him, and he was pretty disappointing.
I think
For them.
Souths, for me, looking at the evidence, it seems as though they need a strong middle as well. I just don't know if they've got the cap room to make a move.
Yeah. The other one then on Ben Hunt is Brodie Croft is now looking like the favourite to come over here for the Dragons. That's what broke today. Yeah.
Really?
Wow. That would be, well, one thing's for sure. If Brodie Croft leaves Leeds, he's either going to need a clause or they're going to charge a huge fee. Like they're going to
No,
charge.
I think that's another thing that's not going to work out too well. Like him and what's his name?
Flanagan.
Yeah,
Croft and Flanagan.
Yeah,
Too similar.
They're too similar as well.
I think Croft.
I'm assuming he'd want his son to be the shot caller in that team, and be the halfback, and then Croft would have to play 6.
Yeah, I think Croft would be a great addition coming back to the NRL. Just you'd need a clause there because Leeds are not going to. They're not a club that just allow players to leave on compassionate grounds. They would have known. I think Brodie Croft originally had signed like a 10-year deal at Salford. Leeds paid a transfer fee to get him, so he'd either already have a transfer fee on his head or he'd need a clause. They're not just going to let him go. And if you're that football club in Leeds Rhinos, why would you let him go?
Yeah.
You name your price.
Also, if you're Brodie Croft, why would you want to come back here as well? Like, if you look at, everyone's talking about Bevan French at the moment. He's on, I think, around 350 over there in England. He also doesn't. I don't think you have to pay for your rent if you're a marquee player over there.
Well, you probably package it up where you go dollars plus accommodation plus car.
So if he's got like no expenses, getting £350,000 a year over there, which is $700,000 back here. You get your rent, your car all covered. You're living in a place like Wigan, which is very, very cheap anyway.
Yeah, but money's not everything though, Charlie. I get that.
But what's Bevan and he's also the star over there.
Yeah,
he's a star.
I understand that. Come back to the pressure cooker. Like it isn't all. It might not work out in terms of what you think it's going to be, but the NRL is the best competition in the world, and there might be that desire to go back to prove a point. You look at guys like Brodie Croft that sort of left the NRL with a little bit of tail between their legs and probably had an ambition to come back at some point, to go over there to play regular first team football like they have, like Jai Field has, and then have some clubs take an interest. A guy like Brodie Croft could demand the same money that he's getting over there. Maybe Bevan French, Jai Field couldn't, but Croft, I think in this halfback, like the halfback drained market, he could come back and get, $700,000-800,000 a year. To be the mate, you're looking at me like that.
Brodie Croft, $700,000-800,000 a year.
Mate, to be the starting halfback at an NRL team.
I don't know if Brodie Croft is worth $800,000 a year. I think that fucks your cap if you're paying someone like Brodie Croft $800,000 a year, based on what we've seen him do in the NRL.
Yeah, but then it becomes a case of you are the starting half. The starting halfback.
Yeah, you might be starting half, but you're worth $800.
Braden Trindle only got $650.
Yeah,
and I'd argue that he's.
Yeah, I'll hold my hands up. Maybe not as much as that.
Yeah, I reckon Brodie Croft would be getting backup half money, which would be like $400-500 maybe.
But I don't think if he's going to the Dragons, he's not going to be the backup half.
No, he won't be.
But he'd get the backup half money.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm right. Maybe you know what, you are right. Yeah.
The final player movement one then, Clint Gutherson is like yesterday, Danny Widler broke that his camp's unhappy with the pace of play and getting this deal solved. He wants a 3-year deal, and that's what's reported is going to come through as well. Gutherson, 3 years.
So that would take him to 32. It's interesting. Like, I think when you look at Coach Flanagan and some of the negotiations, the sticking point has been the length of year. The length of the deal, like the number of years that have been requested. I think Campbell Gillard was one that wanted 3 years. Flanagan said 2, and he wasn't willing to budge. So Flanagan is very wary of having a player go a year too long. So he likes that experienced player, but he doesn't want to get them, and especially a group of them, where the game goes past them altogether. So I think with Gutherson, look, his fitness is up there with the best in the competition. I'm led to believe. So that really helps him in terms of the way he moves. When you watch him aesthetically, like, he looks like he's playing injured, but that's probably because he is. So I think if you take that away, if he's actually fit and firing, he's probably, because of his base conditioning, he's got the ability to keep going. So, and I don't think Flanagan would he'd just say no, because he's proven he'd do it before. And he knows that an easy decision now to give him 3 years will bite him in the arse in 3 years' time. And Shane doesn't look like he's that type of character.
Yeah, I mean, I do, mate. I worry about that if it's 3 years. From my perspective, just looking at the way he's moved this year, and yes, he might be battling injuries, and we know he's battling injuries. We know he's he's had knee issues, and maybe a full off season, lots of knee rehab. He gets himself back to his firing best. But yeah, he's a guy who built his game on hard work. That's his special skill that he has over many other fullbacks in the game. But yeah, I worry about 3 years just with the way he's moving at the moment. Yeah,
you could be right. He's the Dylan Edwards type of player, and even when he's been busted, he's always taking those carries back out of the backfield.
Yeah, and he was probably, even busted, was probably Para's best player, you could argue.
Yeah,
this year.
If you're Dragons, are you thinking about doing what a 2-year deal with maybe a 1 year mutual agreement?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a.
I'd want a team option. If you're going to do that, I'd do 2 years and a team option.
That's what I mean. A mutual agreement means you both have to have the same decision. So
Okay, right.
So it's
Okay.
basically the team. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically a team decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of those clauses, but yeah.
Dylan Brown's ones are fucking.
Oh man,
I don't know. It was fucking Da Vinci Code. I don't know how to work their contract.
He could potentially be at Para till 2031, but he could be gone next year. Figure that one out.
He could be going round 10 this year.
Yeah. So.
Well, if we're talking about clubs freeing up space, the City Roosters could have a huge crack at Dylan Brown.
Yeah.
You think that like the age he is and how old Sam Walker is, that could be a halves partnership that could go on for a decade.
You're not wrong, Charlie. The player movement element, like it's been one of the best off seasons.
I love it.
Like, and it just seems to keep on giving.
Yeah. It feels like it's been bigger this year than ever before. Like
Yeah,
the
it
November
really
one
does.
really means something now.
Yeah.
Like even all the deals that got done, you know, in that first couple of days when the window opened. Like we did our player movement show, recorded on Thursday. By Sunday, we did this huge like 15 minutes on Britton Nakora. November 1, he signs like the day off. You're like, what's doing?
Yeah, and then Trindle as well.
Trindle as well, yeah.
That's a huge early action for the Sharks there. That's a big weight off their shoulders.
Well, also the talk really now is, like Reedy and Chamis said when they were in here, is that Will Kennedy might get pushed out the door at the Sharks, and that's looking more and more likely, especially now that they're, I think, having a crack at Ryan Pappenhausen as well.
Yeah. Well, Pappenhausen would be in massive demand.
That would be good for the Sharks. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pap's a dad to any team. Should we recap the Pacific Championship games that were?
We'll move on to the Broncos.
Oh, yeah. How'd you go, Cheese?
I was not happy. It was a very sad boy.
Mate, what about they came out the gates Tonga, didn't they?
Yeah, the Kiwis gave them 66% of the ball at the first half. Man, you cannot win in any game with 1/3 of the ball.
No,
Like,
that's true.
and yeah, it was a very tough watch, man. I think that's what sparked me to buy the kitten. I was that down. In the dumps. Fuck. Mate, it was such a weird one too. I was just like, I went around to all the adoption places and there was none available. Went to like RSPCA for an adopted one and it was like this one that had 3 legs and was blind and had like cat flu or something. I was like, you can keep that in a cage, my man.
Harsh but fair.
And then I just went on Gumtree and then I like just messaged us later. She's like, yeah, come pick it up. So I just threw it in the car and I said, see you later. I was like, cheers.
Well, we did witness 2 of the best front row tries of all time. Adam Fanua-Blake.
Yeah.
And then Joey Tarpany.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Joey Tarpany was good. That got me out of the couch, that one.
Mate, the more impressive, it wasn't the kick through. It was how he rounded Qatar.
Yeah.
Like
Roger Tuivasa-esque.
Like
yeah.
If
and then went to the middle of the post.
Mate, if you're Qatar, like
you're getting revenge.
It's bad that.
Yeah.
Like it is like for a winger to get stood up by a front rower like that in the backfield is pretty bad. Even look, I respect Joey Tarpany and he's big and he moves well. But that's bad for Qatar to get done by him.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty bad.
No, it was sad. Mate, fuck. I better be PNG. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, you're in that relegation.
Relegation.
Mate, you know what? Like, I love what the internationals have bought, but I was panicking watching that game because it's like, no golden point. Like, you can't just have it end in a draw.
Oh, was there no golden point? I was
no.
watching that at the pub muted, so like, I didn't know there was no golden point.
Yeah, mate. If that ends in 80 minutes,
that's lame.
1-1 at point each.
Yeah.
And New Zealand would have.
I thought you were an advocate for getting rid of the golden point. I am pretty sure you are.
Yeah,
actually,
I think you might. Have done it.
No. I think that.
Can we get it? Can we find somewhere? We're surely in the archive.
Maybe
I'm
in the archive.
I'm almost 100% sure.
You're probably right, Cheese. But I think in this, that game needs a winner. Maybe in an NRL game.
Yeah, I
we
agree.
can look about whether golden point, but in a
golden try needs to be golden try
in a test match like that. That's why Sean Johnson was going for a field goal, because a draw would have been enough, and they knew that. It was like,
oh mate,
so they would have gone through.
Why didn't they go for a 2-pointer then? Osako had the boot. He's got the boot.
Obviously he didn't.
Well, they did.
Obviously he didn't have the boot.
He missed that conversion.
Mate, what's he doing?
I know. You back him all day to get it as well.
I was sorry, Osako, but I was cursing your father and your mother and everything that day. That was not good.
Yeah, he should have nailed.
You
that.
know what I did?
No, not nailed it, mate. There was 50 seconds to go.
No, but he should have. I'm saying he should have nailed it.
Oh, not the kick. I mean, you know how.
The second
and they got the ball back.
The second field goal.
And there was 50 seconds to go.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what are you
Johnson
doing?
got charged down, and then Osako had another shot.
But that was a good look though for Osako, wasn't it? It was a good look. Like that was a decent attempt.
Yeah, but 50 seconds to go.
He should have kicked the conversion or the penalty, and then he probably should have nailed that.
You know what I hate is the captain's challenge at the end there, when like nothing's like, what are you actually challenging?
Yeah.
Like,
I do respect though that he went for it.
yeah.
Because if he got it, I'd love him for the rest of my life. But
Yeah, his captain's challenging the fact that the field goal was missed.
Yeah.
But then they review everything in the play
it
before.
just annoys me that.
I know what you. So they're looking on a technicality, basically.
Yeah.
We all know the field goal missed. Can I challenge that, please, sir? And basically, you're going to review everything in the build-up.
Yeah.
Jeez, that would have been sad if they gave that a penalty. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, for
They're hitting the leg.
illegal kick on Johnson. It was actually called a genuine charge down, even though he did take him out. He got the ball first. Johnson was playing for it all day, like all day.
I think it wasn't. He didn't. Yeah, he did get the ball first, but if he still makes contact with the leg, it's still a penalty.
No, but
I think because the ball hit the ground.
Yes, yeah. And the match officials knew Johnson was trying to milk it, which is, I'm coming into something about PNG later, but like, because just on that game, when Katoa goes for the field goal and gets it for Tonga,
Yeah, they hit him in the leg.
they hit him in the leg.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, hang on a minute, that's a 1-point field goal. Why not give them the penalty and then you can kick the 2? Like,
It's a great point.
An infringement has been made, and you have an opportunity to advance your points more than what you would have had if the field goal goes over. So if he'd have missed that, I think he would have got a penalty, which I believe would have been in front of the stick. So I don't know, but there was one in the PNG game, and I'm doing my best not to swear, but it was the worst decision
It's diabolical.
I have ever seen in my life. Lockie Lamb, like, that was beyond embarrassing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, it was disgraceful.
Was it diabolical?
Greg Alexander said in the commentary the penalty should be reversed. The penalty should actually go to the Cook Islands, and I agree, and he should have been sent off. It was disgraceful play acting.
What happened?
Well, basically, Lockie Lamb has kicked the ball. The Cook Islands players come to put pressure on, turned his back. Then Lockie Lamb has jumped into the Cook Islands player, literally jumped, and then fell back and got a penalty. It was a disgrace. It was an absolute. I am so pissed off about this. It was disgraceful. Like, he should be suspended for it. This game has no room for simulation, for faking, for play acting, for mimicking. It was beyond disgraceful. Like, I've been involved in some incidents on field. People go, "Oh, mate, you can talk." And our game's got no place for certain actions. It's got no place for that. I can't believe the referees were fooled. It was pissed me off beyond belief.
What was the score?
PNG smoked them, but
Yeah.
There was a bad one in the New Zealand Tonga game as well. I thought when Sean Johnson kicked it and Fanua Blake clipped him, and Sean Johnson held his leg out there for so long.
Yeah,
and like it's the tiniest little knock. It's like, and the referees are so precious about that at the moment. Like, I think this next year,
even the
forward,
one, like Fanua Blake got done. Keanu Kinney,
yeah.
like he like stopped, but there was nowhere near the ball.
No.
But I'll take it because I'm a Kiwi. You know what I mean? Like,
and Sean Johnson's a smart footballer. He knows what he's doing. He's leaving his leg out there, stretching the leg out,
putting it in an unnatural position.
Yeah.
For as long as that, it's just, look. I know we got to protect the kickers, but if the kickers want to take the piss, then they need to be punished as well. And again, like, Lockie Lam, he had a great game.
What do you call it? Gamesmanship.
And he doesn't need to do this. It's not gamesmanship. Jeez, this is not gamesmanship. This is just. There's another word. I don't even know what the word is. It's
Flopping, diving, simulation. Just there's no room in. And Lockie Lam had an outstanding game. He really did. But this just pissed me off beyond belief. Yeah.
It was disgraceful.
Was a great game. The other one, Tonga and Kiwis, though, like that's international footy, it's best. But the two games in this weekend,
You missed one out. You
Samoa, Samoa,
You
England.
missed this last week.
Mate, I can't
That's
even-
not a Pacific
But
Championship
also, mate,
game.
I'm enjoying watching the highlights on NRL's Facebook page when it comes out. But I can't even watch the game over
You're
here.
on Facebook.
Well, I've still got Facebook.
Come on,
yeah.
Grandad. Come on, Grandad. Come on, Grandad. Come on to TikTok.
Yeah,
We'll look after
I
you.
actually don't have TikTok.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Who can honestly take Golden Boot off Herbie Farnworth in this game coming up? No, I don't think anyone can.
No.
The last two, the two games I watched is the best two centre international games I reckon I've ever watched live.
Well, thanks for filling Charlie, because apparently you can't see it anywhere.
I thought you couldn't.
It's on KO.
It was,
my
game
God,
one wasn't
you
on
have
KO.
to,
Was it? No, game one wasn't.
It's been
was.
stupid.
It
Like,
wasn't.
like, I would say that he's half dismantled Samoa by himself. Honestly,
Yeah.
he's been
Do you reckon he'd walk into the New South Wales Blues team if he
Yeah.
was Aussie? Yeah,
Yeah.
he would, wouldn't he?
I reckon he'd walk in at any team.
Any team.
Well, he wouldn't play for New South Wales. He'd play for Queensland.
Yeah, well, but Queensland's outside backs aren't as strong as New South Wales outside backs. Was the point I was making? Would he
I'd
walk
go
into
for
the
that.
Yeah,
And Cobbo,
So who? Tom Trbojevic and Bradman Best,
Tom Trbojevic,
Yeah,
or Latrell and centers is
I'd take
Stephen Crichton. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's
As a centre, I'd take Herbie over Tom and Bradman Best.
over Stephen Crichton as well.
No.
No, okay. So
No,
Stephen Crichton.
Stephen Crichton to me is the best, and then
best centre.
Herbie's
Number two.
not far behind.
I like that.
yeah, but he wouldn't play for New South
I
Wales.
just think Herbie's, if he learns how to defend like Stephen Crichton, he'll be the best.
Yeah,
But his
yeah.
attacking is ridiculous.
But there's our review of the England game. See?
2-0.
2-0.
One more to come.
No,
Just
two
two-game
game
series?
bizarrely, but it is what it is.
Weird, eh? Weird that they
But
did.
better 2-0 than 3-0, because you'd play an extra game. That'd be a waste of time. But anyway, did you see the baseball? All the people that are on my case about the Origin. Anybody see the World Series?
I didn't, mate. I can't stand baseball.
4-1.
7-game series. Dodgers won 4-1. 2 games. What about the fans? Oh, doesn't matter. It's over. It's done. Thanks for coming. Dodgers win. Parade. Thank you. America, Dodgers.
You are such an American fanny, though, aren't you? You love America.
No, I'm not.
Like, you're
No.
obsessed with the US
No,
election
no.
as well. You are
I'm
this
not obsessed
classic
with the US
person who
election
lives in
at all.
Australia and looks at America with like rose-colored glasses. Like all the actions there in America, they know everything.
No, I didn't say that. They
But
know
you love
they know how to
America.
do sports. They know how to do sports.
So do we here in Australia. We probably
we-
punch above our weight in Australia more than any other country in the world when it comes to sport.
Maybe you do.
We
Maybe
certainly
you
do, yeah. Look at us at the
Don't you
Olympics.
remember where
A
you were
small
born?
nation of 20 million people, and we're up there third, fourth on the Olympics ladder. Cricket, we do well. Rugby league, we dominate.
Rugby we do.
Rugby, we don't do that well, but we try our best.
What do you want? A medal for trying your best. All right, we get it. You're a good sporting nation.
Yeah, and you're an American, classic Aussie that's obsessed with American culture. I love it.
I'm not obsessed with American culture at all. I like looking at how sports culture works, because it's very similar but yet very different. Promotion and relegation in European sporting culture. First past the post in European and English, British sporting culture versus a playoff system in America. I would say Australian sporting culture is more like American sporting culture. Like England, Europe, South America, very tribal. When you look at like the religion that it is, a lot of hatred amongst rivals. Where, in Australia, have you ever been, other than the soccer, which is a bit manufactured?
Well, I think AFL has those rivalries in Melbourne a bit more than we've got in NRL.
Yeah,
you got South Roosters.
But they're not segregated rivalries.
Yeah.
They're not, which people might say, well, is that what you need? You need the element of violence and thuggery. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I think it adds to the occasion. I saw a clip of like these Argentine fans, fireworks going off, and it's just nuts. But the sporting culture and how it develops and what we come to grow and love, I do find interesting, and I find it happens in England when they play test matches, and the series is won, but they play 2 more. But then in America they don't, and it's just
over in England they're a lot thicker skin as well. I reckon all definitely. The teams and all the players, because there's some bloody ridiculously ruthless chants, and you don't ever hear them like complaining about, you know, racism or anything like that.
Well, they have complained.
Yeah,
about
but not that.
Not as
But like English in Australia, I reckon Australians like to think that they take the piss out of each other and they cop really well. But in England, they take the piss out of each other way more. Like my family growing up, all English people, everyone just rips into each other constantly. Like whereas like I think Aussies are a bit more precious when it comes to that stuff, and we like to think we're similar to English, but English people are actually very different to Australian as well. It's like same but different.
When you say different,
like they're pasty.
I think what you're saying is they're better.
I think English banter is probably better than Australian banter.
English and Aussie.
Yeah.
And I'd argue that the Aussies and the Kiwis are the strongest here.
Strongest?
2 on 1.
Did you not see me come off the top rope? Lads, come on.
I saw you climb.
I saw you come and get up the top.
Help me.
It was all part of the theatre. Like, will he do it? No. Come on, guys. I can't believe you fell for that.
Yeah.
I've been up there in a flash. But England, congratulations, got the win. How good. But we've got some big games
coming up. You still on the juice, Charlie?
Still always, mate. Always on the juice.
With that.
But there is 2 big games.
Yes, there is.
So the PNG Kiwis, if Kiwis lose, they're in the lower tier.
Is
that right?
It is. That is correct.
Does that mean I can play Origin if we're in the lower tier?
No.
Why?
Because the tiered nations isn't about like even if Tonga win, they don't become a tier 1 and all their players can't play. It's all about
that's what they should do.
It's all about pathways and things like that.
It is. Yes, you're right, Charlie. Yeah, they'll be. This is a promotion and relegation stolen from European, South American sporting culture. Look at Aussies. We can't invent anything ourselves. Let's just rip off America, rip off Europe. Let's just, let's cherry pick the best parts. Yeah. And they've got promotion and relegation in this. So, we'll say the Aussies. It's New Zealand and PNG, but it's an Aussie organised tournament. Yeah, so PNG, if they win against the Kiwis, will be elevated into the top pool. Like Jason Demetriou's done a fantastic job, but he's got it all on the line. And can they beat the Kiwis? It'd be a huge task. Like the Kiwis will be, bitterly disappointed with how that game ended. But you know what? They'll be embarrassed with this start. But then just how much that fatigue factor plays a part could be the only way that PNG get the win, in my opinion. What about you, Cheese? What do you think the Kiwis are thinking going into this weekend?
I think they'd be definitely disappointed. I know I am, but I think they'll have to go in with the mindset of respecting the PNG people. There's a reason they're playing against, PNG and not Fiji. Obviously, Fiji troubled us a lot in the World Cup. We only just beat them in the, dying minutes of the game. So, you just got to go in and respect the opposition in front of you. Don't just think that, it's going to be a walk in the park just because they're, just a small nation. Obviously, they've played a lot of good football. They gave Fiji a thrashing when they played each other. And that's the ultimate thing, is just going in and respecting your opponent and not thinking everything's going to come your way just because they're probably not filled with stars like your team. And then just play your own game. Obviously, hold the ball in the first half for more than 33%.
That definitely will help.
Because you could see when in the second half when the Kiwis got the ball and they just went that tit for tat, Tonga started to slow right down.
Yeah.
And then the meters came through the middle. So I assume that's what the Aussies will be doing this weekend.
We've got Australia against Tonga as well.
Yeah. Just on Jason Demetrio, huge game for him this. He's probably got his eye on the actual PNG job when that team comes into the NRL. But if they win this, he is the number 1 coaching candidate out there for any job that comes up.
Well, I think he probably makes a claim for that
now
anyway.
Yeah. I think he'd be great for any club as well.
Yeah.
It brings me up. We had a bit to do with him this year, Triple M and stuff, and he's a smart guy.
Yeah, he is. And it'd be huge for him. A lot on the line for PNG and him. But Australia take on Tonga. They got the victory over them with relative ease last time they played. I think Tonga had enough opportunities. They probably just couldn't convert those opportunities on Australia's line into points. For me, Australia need to just defend how they have been. Defensively, they've been amazing. But Tonga, I imagine Christian Wolff is working away at those good ball situations and just some variation of what they've previously put out against the Australians, because it didn't work last time. So they need to have a little bit of a think there on how they can get creative.
That first game was a scrappy game, but there was a moment where Isaiah Katoa almost got a 40-20. It was nearly the most perfect kick ever, and it just went the dead ball line. And Tonga at that point were in it, and they were rolling. I felt like they were about to crack Australia. I think if that kick ends up being a 40-20, it could have been a much tighter game in the end.
Plus the intercept pass to Boyovic's
I think they'd be looking at that a lot, because I feel like every time they shifted to the left to Boyovic's side, they've jammed heavy.
Yeah,
they
jammed kicking.
I think they'll have some trick moves around.
Yeah.
If they don't, they should. Just because you know when you're not playing a position that you're used to, like i.e. Thompson Boyovic, you know the shutdown method is always just jam, and then hopefully your winger comes with you. But a lot of the time your winger's not there because he doesn't really know what you're thinking. But yeah, I think they could probably work over that left hand side.
They'll have the home ground advantage in a sense, Tonga as well, because it's probably going to be 80% Tongan fans, 20% Aussie fans.
It will be bouncing. I hope.
I reckon it'll be a sellout in the end.
Yeah.
Dude, could you hear that crowd?
Oh, it was insane.
Man. It's, honestly, I say this every time.
Mate,
the Tongan crowd, the best crowd, best atmosphere I've ever played at is when England played Tonga in the World Cup semi-final. It won't be beaten. Wembley Stadium, Old Trafford, ANZ or
I could hear every song they were singing. I love it.
It's insane. All right, that's just about wraps up.
We've got some questions.
Yeah.
We do have some questions from listeners as well that I'll pull up. I haven't had a look at them yet.
You know, I forgot to say, you know, when we didn't really intro the show properly.
Yeah.
I got shat on by a bird.
So you're going to say something.
Twice today.
What was her name?
I'm not into that cheese. Twice on the walk to school and on the walk home. How bad's that? No.
Is that double good luck? I think if you're shat on twice, it's actually bad luck.
Yeah, I know. So
some people make up some funny shit. Being shat on by a bird is good luck.
Yeah.
How in God's earth?
I think it's something they just say to kids that get obviously embarrassed when they've been shat on. Or yeah, twice.
I got shat on at school when I was younger.
By a bird or
by a bird, yeah.
Okay. First Instagram question comes from Dom_McGrath. Would you rather shit out a pineapple or piss out a grape?
It's piss out a grape.
Yeah, probably the latter.
Yeah, true. That's an easy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could probably crush it inside there.
Gareth Widdett wants to know what's wrong with drinking red wine cheese.
What?
Gareth Widdett wants to know what's wrong with drinking red wine.
I went for a beer last night with Gaz Ridder, and he was like, "Oh, I don't really drink beer anymore."
But when I'm going to drink a beer, I'm drinking red wine. It's a bit how do I say? It's a bit la-di-da.
Yeah.
I love a red wine though.
Yeah, no,
but you don't go, like you're not going to go to the oldest pub in Melbourne and go, "Can I get a red wine, please?" You're going to go, "Can I get a fucking pint?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
especially when your mates with you.
Was it a dinner in a red though? What was it?
We had. Yeah, but he's just.
You go to cheers your mate. Good mate. You're trying to catch up. You go to cheers him, and
then people are looking, going, "Oh, what's going on there?"
What's worse? Just from _Marsh_. What's worse, getting blindsided by an outside back or getting cut in half by a little fella?
I reckon if you get cut in half by a little fella, that'd be way worse.
Did that ever happen to you? Anyone get you that you thought, how's he got me?
Lulai, maybe. Yeah, you could get under the ball really well.
The worst hit I ever took, I was from a halfback.
The worst what?
The worst hit I've ever had from an NRL. Worst was a halfback.
Was it?
Chanel Tavita Harris. Oh, I got fucking. There was a hole in the middle of the field, and Jerome Hughes hit me short, and I've not seen him at all, and he smoked me, and I got up like pretending nothing hurt. I lost the ball and everything, but yeah, he absolutely destroyed me. That was probably blindsided. It was not nice.
We'll do one more.
I'm already a little fella, so
I think I remember that tackle as well. We'll do one final one. Stephen W. Bird. This probably needs a bit of prep, but we'll give it a crack anyway. What is the greatest grand final that never happened? E.g., 90s Raiders v. the Broncos.
Oh, that needs some
prep.
Yeah, that needs some prep. Yeah. Great question, though.
Great question. Yeah.
All right, should we wrap it up then?
We shall.
All right, thanks, Cheese.
I would have loved to have seen the Melbourne 2017 play Roosters 2017. Instead, it was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It would have been the Roosters would have been possible 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Did they have some injuries going into that 2017 series, the Roosters as well, maybe?
No,
from
they
memory?
just caked it on
right.
the prelim. And that was once Cowboys had won that game, it was Storm had wrapped it up. It was the men against boys in that grand final.
There was the 2020 Roosters were did Penrith knock them out week 1 or something, or did they were flying in 2020 as well, and then Penrith beat them week 1 maybe in Penrith.
Some of those teams that the Roosters had that got decimated by injury.
Yeah, like you'd love to see that.
I would have just loved to see that 2017 side, because then Roosters would have had to play for 3 in a row.
Yeah. And
it would have been a great, because I think Roosters beat Melbourne that year like a couple of weeks prior.
Yeah.
In the semi.
Even like this year. Sorry to bring up wounds, but this year your Roosters team, like if you guys are fully fit, that would have been a better grand final.
It fully fit in the mixer. Yeah. Like you would have liked to have seen Panthers or Storm play them in a prelim.
Yeah.
All on the line. Yeah. But just on your point, Cheese, there about looking back at that Roosters maybe going 3 in a row, it makes you realise just how great this Penrith team are, and all the things that have had to go their way. It's remarkable.
And they've been not decimated, but they've had Cleary been injured for a lot of their season.
Yeah. You don't even factor that in. Anyway, that wraps us up. Great question, though, whoever that was. Cheers.